From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your evening update.
Hey folks, good evening. Hope you're ready for that big time cool down because we got it coming in a big way. Got those lower double digits, upper single digits creeping in here as we head through our lows tonight and into early tomorrow morning. Man, it's going to feel brisk too, especially with that big time wind chill, right? That's why we have that cold weather advisory until tomorrow afternoon. Let's go through some cold tips because I'll tell you what, this is not the type of cold you want to mess around with. Let's think about the people first, friends, family, especially those less able than us to bundle up right, reach over to the air heaters or stuff like that. Let's think about them in times like this, right? And of course, we want to dress warmly with those very thick layers, right? Cold. Here's the old adage, right? In cold, you can always put on more layers. In the heat, you can never take too many off, right? So this is one of those situations. Put more and more on, you'll do fine. Pets, keep them inside. Shelter, food, water that won't freeze over, stuff outside, right? Got to think about that. Home prep, fire safety as well. Drip those faucets, wrap those pipes, and always use those heaters safely, right? Don't plug them into power strips or things like that. If at all possible, you want to actually plug them straight into the wall. And vehicle prep, you want to check your coolant and also make sure your battery's all right because these cold temperatures can do some stuff to the components inside, right? And tire pressure. Yeah, that always gets us, right? Every time you start up the car after a big weather change, temperatures drop, you look, it says low tire pressure. Yeah, this is one of those things that you want to definitely keep an eye on. Now, I know a lot of people say, oh, it expands back when it gets warmer, but still, you got to keep in mind there are some physics going on there, so it's worth checking. Also, keep that winter kit on hand. Good to have ice scrapers off the windshield, things like that. Even if we don't get it much, we still do, right? So it's good to keep that, right? It's best for safety overall. All right, so let's see what the highs are looking like tomorrow. Widespread 20s. Look at Mount Pleasant at 24, Lawrenceburg at 24 as well. We're going to be talking maybe mid-20s up here in southern middle Tennessee. Hop across the state line, you start to see a couple more mid to upper 20s, right? So we might be 26, 27, 28, but still, that's all below freezing, so we're not going to be seeing too much of a spread in this respect. The next several days will stay that way. We do warm up in the extended term. Check out those 40s, even near 50s coming back. In fact, by the weekend, I think we might be seeing some lower 50s creep back in. But it's the next couple of days of interest here, at least in terms of the pattern as a whole, especially with that winter storm off to our south. Of course, we've been watching this for a while. Louisiana to southern Mississippi, southern central Alabama, into southern and central Georgia, up the Carolinas eventually. When was the last time we had measurable snow in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, right? I mean, that's a long time coming, right? Houston had an event maybe, I think, 10 years ago, something like that. So we might even see snow down there. But then on the northern edge, right, what more concerns us? Well, maybe the northern edge of it in North Alabama, we might pick up some flurries here if that moisture can lift north, but I don't think southern middle Tennessee is going to be too much in this equation, and I honestly don't think any huge winter storm aspects are going to make it this far north. But that does not mean we're going to get absolutely nothing and it will be totally dry, right? So we got to keep that in mind here. It's a delicate balance. You can see what I'm talking about up here. The higher chances, of course, down south near the core of that system. And again, we'll be watching trends here over the next couple of days because you got to keep in mind, it is still a couple of days out. Things can change just a little bit, but right now this is not seeming to be a system where you're going to have to run out, buy all the bread and milk or anything like that, but we'll just keep an eye on it, right? So again, we're going to be watching, like I said, Tuesday and into Tuesday night for the possibility of some of that moisture lifting north, maybe a few flurries in North Alabama associated with that, right? But we're not going to be seeing a system like the other week. Don't think that's what we're looking at here. The main story, I think it's going to be that cold, right? Look at that big time cold here with those lows in the single digits, right? And those highs not getting above freezing until Wednesday, right? And then we start to get back to the 40s. And remember what I was talking about? We see that warm up there. That's actually largely due to some southerly air coming in. That leads to our next chance of rain towards next weekend, maybe the first half of the week. But again, that's a ways out, so I can't get too specific on that. But there is a good signal for maybe some showers, some rainfall towards next Sunday, about a week from today. Thanks for joining me here for this forecast update. I'll be back with you at 9 for a final look at your forecast, fresh from the Tennessee Valley Weather Center, and I'll speak to you then.